Welcome, my dear viewers. In the last lecture of this series, we discussed about the various types of inflations. We talked about the effect of inflation, and we also discussed about the various terms related to the inflation. So today we are going to start with the measures of inflation. How can we measure the inflation? Measures of inflation. How can we measure the inflation? Today we are going to study about this thing. We know in the India's perspective, the inflation can be measured by wholesale price index. Wholesale price index, it is called as WPI. Second is consumer price index. Consumer price index, it is known as CPI. And third is GDP deflator. GDP deflator. So these are mainly the three measures of inflation. So now let us look at each of them individually. What is wholesale price index? So when we talk about the wholesale price index, it measures the changes on in wholesale prices. So we can say that WPI measures changes in wholesale prices on weekly basis. On weekly basis. So we have to remember this thing, that WPI measures the change in the wholesale price on weekly basis. Okay, so then what we do is that, means for example, in 1 week there is 10% change or increase in the prices. Okay, there is 10% increase in the prices in 1 week. Then we can see in 1 month there are 4 weeks, so monthly is calculated. Monthly will be average of 4 weeks. Okay, then yearly is calculated. Yearly wholesale price index is average of weekly, average of weeks, means the average of change in the wholesale prices in the week, that is the weekly price. So this was about the wholesale price index. So if we see, there are two series in the wholesale price index. First is old series and one is new series. There are two series. Old series, it contains certain, a basket of goods and services, not services. Second is new series. If we see, in old series there were 676 items. How many items? 676 items were present in old series, and new series contains 697 items. So we have to keep this thing in mind. So in WPI it only measures the, means it only determines the change in the price of goods only. So there will be no services included in wholesale price index. So wholesale price index has two series. One is old series and one is new series. In old series there were 676 items, and in new series there are 697 items. And wholesale price index takes into consideration the goods only. Only goods are taken into consideration in wholesale price index. Now we will see that what is the weightage of various articles or various items in the wholesale price index. Now let us see, for example, there are three types of articles in wholesale price index, that is primary articles, primary, then there is mineral group, and there is third, that is called as that is called as manufacturing items. Okay, so manufacturing items, these are the three, means primary articles, means primary group, then mineral group and manufacturing articles. In primary group there comes the new fruits and vegetables. So new fruits and vegetables are present in this basket, primary group. In mineral group there are various minerals like copper, lead and granite. So these are the minerals that are present in this group. And then there are manufacturing. In manufacturing there are 173 items. Okay, so what are the various items here which were added in this group, like conveyor belt, conveyor, so there is conveyor belt. Okay, rubber, then there is steel cables, tissue papers, tissue papers, and wooden splinter, they were added in the manufacturing items. But in mineral group there were few minerals which were removed from this mineral group, that is dolomite and magnetite magnesite, not tite, magnesite were removed. And in mineral group natural gas was added, you have to remember mineral group में natural gas को add किया गया. Now if we see wholesale price index in terms of weightage, what is the weightage of food articles in wholesale price index? So the weightage of food items in WPI is 26 point some 24 or 26 24.03%, 24.03% is the weightage of food items in wholesale price index. This was all about the wholesale price index. Now we will see about the consumer price index, what is CPI. Okay, now let us see about the CPI. The second term is the CPI. So CPI, what will CPI do? Now this is our second consumer price index. It also measures changes in retail price. It measures the change in retail price on monthly basis. एक महीने में कितना चेंज आ गया है किसी प्रोडक्ट में, मगर उसके रिटेल प्राइस में, होलसेल प्राइस में नहीं, रिटेल प्राइस में कितना चेंज आ रहा है एक मंथ में, वो कौन सा इंडेक्स है, वो कौन सा पैरामीटर हमें देता है, कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स. फिर हमें अगर एक साल के लिए निकालना होगा तो हम क्या करेंगे, फॉर ईयरली कैलकुलेशंस, for yearly calculation what we will do, we will just take the average of monthly change in the retail price, monthly change in retail prices. So monthly change in retail prices. As a result of this we can work out the yearly change in the consumer price index. So what are the different weightages, or what are the different products that come under CPI, consumer price index. अब देखेंगे हम इसमें वेटेज कितना है फूड आइटम का. अगर हम देखेंगे कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स में, तो इसमें क्या है, पहला पॉइंट जो याद रखना है, इट इंक्लूड बोथ गुड्स एज वेल एज सर्विसेज, एज वेल एज सर्विसेज। इसमें दोनों आते, गुड्स भी सर्विसेज भी। ओके, सो बोथ द थिंग्स आर टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन। मगर होलसेल प्राइस में क्या होता था, वी ओनली टेक इनटू कंसिडरेशन द गुड्स। एंड दूसरा पॉइंट इसमें याद रखना है, इट फोकसेस ऑन होमोजीनस कंज्यूमर, homogeneous consumers. It focuses on homogeneous consumer, so there is no different basket, so homogeneous consumer. So if there is a homogeneous consumer, this means that it reflects the standard of living, it reflects the standard of living, standard of living of people are group of consumers. People are group of consumers, so whatever be the convenient term for you, remember that either people or group of consumers. So consumer price index reflect the standard of living of people or the group of consumers. So then we can say that we can use this consumer price index to determine the dearness allowance of the government employees. If it reflects the standard of living, we can say it can be used to determine dearness allowance, that is DA of government employees. ओके, गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयज़ जो हैं उनका DA डियरनेस अलोवेंस हम किससे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं या डिटरमाइन कर सकते हैं, दैट इज consumer price index. Why? Because it reflects the standard of living of people or the group of consumers, and it not only include goods but services at the same time as well. So now we will see whether WPI or CPI is widely used in India. If we see in India, CPI for industrial workers, that is called IWs, industrial workers, is widely used in India. CPI for industrial workers is widely used. Okay, it is widely used in India. And now earlier, if we see earlier, the base for calculating the CPI was, earlier base was 2010, means the year of 2010. Now the CSO is the Central Statistical Organization, has revised base from 2010 to 2012. So the new base is 2012, and what is the body, or which body is responsible for this change in the series, that is Central Statistical Organization. And CSO comes under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay, remember this thing, it comes under this Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now if we see in India, CPI, it is related to the different segments. So in India, CPI is related to different segments, that is CPI alone does not cover the entire. CPI do not or does not cover the entire population. So few segments or few sectors or few sections where they were covered by the CPI. Now this is the challenge for the India. So in order to address this issue, so in order to address this, in order to make CPI, to cover entire economy, the two fronts of the any economy, that is the central bank RBI and the government. Okay, so they took the measures to address this problem of CPI. And RBI came up with a proposal. They said that the CPI should be made, there should be a draft paper for both rural population as well as CPI for urban population. Then government also, the government also devised the same thing, and under the CSO, which comes under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, they developed, this survey was done, and they measured the CPI for rural consumer price index in the rural areas and consumer price index in urban areas. Then what they do is that they combined the CPI rural plus CPI urban, CPI rural and CPI urban. So both these terms were then merged, urban, and which gives a proper picture of the change in the prices, retail prices of the goods and services in any economy, and it is a measure of inflation. So you have to keep these things in mind while you solve the questions regarding the consumer price index or wholesale price index. So these are the main things that we need to take into consideration. And why the Central Statistical Organization, they merged the CPI rural and urban? The answer is that in order to fill the major gap in the price statistics, the CSO come up with the combined, that is the merger of CPI rural and CPI urban, the values, the parameters. So in this way, the Central Statistical Organization, CSO, they defined national CPI. So CSO came up with a term that is called National Consumer Price Index, and they defined it as the sum of CPI for rural areas plus CPI for urban areas. So this term CPI rural plus CPI urban gives us national CPI, and national CPI fills the gaps in the price statistics and gives a proper picture of the change in the price of retail prices of the goods and services in any economy, and thus is a better measure of what we can say, it is a better measure of inflation. Now we will see what is the weightage of food items in the CPI. What is the percentage of the food items in the CPI? If we see in CPI for industrial workers, the weightage of food items is almost 46.2%, and CPI alternative, the different items, is 69.15%. So now you can see from this term here, the food items have the weightage of 46.2, but in WPI, we saw that was only 24.03 or something, 3%. So you can see the more weightage of food items in CPI than WPI. Remember this term, that is, we can write that weightage of food inflation is more in CPI vis-a-vis WPI in comparison to WPI. Vis-a-vis means in comparison to WPI, wholesale price index. Now, why the government came up with this CPI rural urban and then combined it? What was the reason behind this? If you see, in the year 2009-2010, the gap between, let it be, is WPI and it is CPI. The gap between the WPI and CPI extended, it widened a lot. If you see how much it widened in the year 2009 and 2010, there was a huge gap between the wholesale price index and consumer price index due to the higher food inflation due to inflation higher food inflation. Why we say higher food inflation? It widened the gap because the food items have higher weightage or more weightage in CPI than WPI, so there is a wide gap between WPI and CPI. Remember this term as well. Why in 2009 2010 there was a large gap between CPI and WPI? Because there was higher food inflation, and we know the food items have higher weightage in CPI as compared to WPI. This was all about the WPI and CPI, means wholesale price index and consumer price index. Now we will see the third term, that is GDP deflator. Third major is the GDP deflator. What is GDP deflator? So GDP deflator, when we talk about the GDP deflator, just remember GDP deflator is the ratio. GDP deflator is the ratio of GDP at current price to the GDP at constant price. Okay, constant प्राइस। इसका मतलब क्या है? जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर का मतलब होता है कि जीडीपी में कितना चेंज आ रहा है। मीन्स आज जीडीपी इस टाइम पे कितना है, जीडीपी एट करंट प्राइस जो है इस वक्त कितना जीडीपी कंट्री का है। और जब कोई चेंज मीन्स व्हेन देयर इज़ नो इन्फ्लेशन, उस वक्त जीडीपी कितना होता है, दैट इज जीडीपी एट कांस्टेंट प्राइस। सो करंट प्राइस उसका रेशियो हम अगर लेंगे कांस्टेंट प्राइस पे जीडीपी के, तो उसको बोलते हैं हम जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर। तो वी कैन से दैट इफ जीडीपी एट करंट प्राइस, सो नाउ देयर आर कंडीशंस। इफ first condition is if GDP at current price, that is CP, is equal to GDP at constant price. Okay, GDP at current price is equal to GDP at constant price. We can say that GDP deflator is equal to 1. So there will be GDP deflator is equal to 1. This 1 indicates that there is no change in the price. There is no change in price of goods and services produced in a country, ओके। अगर हम जीडीपी अगर देखेंगे, अगर जीडीपी करंट प्राइस और जीडीपी कांस्टेंट प्राइस पे सेम होगा, तो हम बोलेंगे जो जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर होगा उसका वैल्यू 1 आएगा। और वैल्यू अगर 1 होगा, हम बोलेंगे कि कोई चेंज नहीं आई, हम बोल सकते हैं कि देयर इज़ नो इन्फ्लेशन इन द इकानमी। सो वी कैन से दैट इन अ बेटर वे दैट whether there is inflation in economy or not. So the second condition now arises that, for example, if GDP deflator its value is 2, this means that there is increase in the price level by 2 times. So price level rises 2 times. 2 means price level rises 2 times. So in the same way, if GDP deflator is 4, this means that price level rises 4 times. Okay, so GDP deflator is the better measure of price behavior as it covers all goods and services produced within the country. So GDP deflator is the बेटर मेजर. क्यों हम बेटर मेजर? क्योंकि जीडीपी हमें पता है ये कि मॉनेटरी वैल्यू ऑफ गुड्स, जितने भी गुड्स एंड सर्विस हमारी कंट्री में प्रोड्यूस होते हैं उनका जो अगर हम पैसों में हिसाब करें तो वो हमें जीडीपी देता है. और जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर हमें बोलता है कि करंट प्राइस पे हमारा जीडीपी कितना है, और जब कोई इन्फ्लेशन मार्केट में नहीं होता है उस वक्त कितना हमारा जीडीपी है. और इफ़ देयर इज इफ द वैल्यूज ऑफ जीडीपी एट करंट प्राइस एंड कांस्टेंट प्राइस आर इक्वल, वी से देयर इज नो चेंज इन द price of goods and services. So if it is if it GDP deflator value came out to be 2, 4, 6, we can say that the price level rises by 2-fold, 4-fold and 6-fold. So GDP deflator is the better measure of inflation in economy. Now these were the three measures of inflation. Now how can we contain, or how can we check the inflation in economy? Let us see how can we check the. So the topic is how to check inflation. How to check inflation. How to check inflation. Okay, how to check inflation. कैसे हम inflation को check कर सकते हैं? What are the ways by which we can contain the inflation? So remember, there are three ways, by various ways, but we can say first we will see the fiscal measures. Fiscal measures to check inflation. Then we will see what are the steps taken at administrative level, that is administrative measures. Okay, administrative measures. And then we will see what are the steps taken by the RBI, or monetary measures. Okay, monetary measures. So in fiscal measures we can say, we can check the inflation by employing the proper fiscal policy, proper and strong fiscal policy. Proper fiscal policy can be employed. Now what does that mean? What we mean by proper fiscal policy? This means that if because in fiscal policy there are three terms came in fiscal policy. First is public expenditure, public PE, that is public expenditure. Taxation, that is taxation. And third is public debt, So three terms come in public and this fiscal policy, that is public expenditure, PE, taxation and public debt. Now if the government manipulate these three terms, if these three terms are manipulated, we can check the inflation. Manipulated by government, these can be manipulated by government to check inflation. Okay, how can we do this? For example, if government increases spending in development to improve the supply and productivity. Okay, if tax incentives are being given by the for example, government first increases his spending on development sector. This will increase this will improve the supply chain. When supply chain improves, productivity will improve. Okay, second, if the government gives tax incentives are given, means the supply chain is improved. If supply chain is improved, the productivity will increase, and productivity will increase, it will ultimately check the inflation. So these are the fiscal measures to check the inflation. Now the administrative measures. The administrative measures are various. For example, the administration can remove the tax obligation, means removal of tax obligation by the removal of tax obligations on imported material. imported material पे कम टैक्स लगेगा या रिमूव किया जाएगा imported material प्रोडक्ट्स. ओके, So through this we can check the inflation. Second, those materials which are prohibited, they should be ban up. Constrained material which are not working properly, constrained materials or products, this can be an administrative step to check the inflation. Third, we can see if central if the central issue price for the rice and wheat, for example, there is rice and wheat, and the price is decided by central issuers, okay, central issue. So we can check the inflation, because it will not allow the hoarders to increase to disrupt the supply chains as well as the productivity. In the same way, regarding the hoarding, we can suspend the future trade, suspend future trading means the hoarders who hoard the food items like rice, wheat, maize, bajra, or whatever cereals or pulses they are hoarding. If this future trade is suspended, they cannot trade their hoarding material into the market, as a result of which there will be no inflation in the market. So it is one of the measures to check the inflation at administrative level. And one more thing can be done is that the rice and wheat should be allotted, rice and wheat should be allotted at open market sales scheme. Open market should be done, that is open market, OMSS, open market sale scheme. If this is done, we can check the inflation at administrative level. Now there is the third, that is the monetary measure. How can we measure the inflation, or sorry, how can we check the inflation at monetary level? So monetary measure to check inflation. How to check inflation? First, whenever there is monetary measure, fiscal is under government, fiscal policy is under government, monetary policies or monetary measures are under RBI, the Central Bank of India. RBI is Central Bank of India, came into picture, Central Bank of India. So it is under the purview of the RBI. So this RBI can review the monetary policy. By reviewing the monetary policy, RBI can review the monetary policy. Okay, it can review the monetary policy either by means it will not allow monetization. Okay, it will not allow the monetization. So it will ultimately reduce the money supply in market. Money supply will go down. When money supply will go down, what will happen? Money supply goes down, it can be used to to contain the inflation. Okay, contain inflation, it will help in containing the inflation. And at the same time, it can devise such monetary policy can be devised by RBI, monetary policy, which will first, it will contain the inflation, at the same time it will boost the economic growth and financial stability. Okay, so such measures should be taken by the RBI. No, these were the three major, these were the three major checks on inflation. Now there are other ways by which this inflation can be checked out, like the combination or the combined efforts by RBI and government. Okay, RBI and government will take the combined effect to contain the inflation. Then there will be, consensus on in interministerial group, you know the interministerial group, they can come and they can put their suggestions. And if you see the most of times the interministerial group, they emphasize it on improving the supply chain supply chain from farmers to market. Okay, supply chain from farmer, to improve the supply chain from farmer to the market. And for this they recommended that the APMC, that is agriculture, APMC agriculture, these APMCs are the agriculture produce and marketing committees, are these intermediate, these were the mediators, should be removed. Okay, APMC should be dissolved, should be removed. Okay, it was the suggestion, of interministerial group that APMC, agriculture product marketing committee, it should be removed, so that there is no disruption in the supply chain. Now today if you see, the currently the farmers are also, they are also protesting against the government over the three farm bills that have been passed by the legislature this this session, in this November session. So the farmers are protesting, they are saying that these three laws should be repealed, because the APMCs are the mediators, which the government is saying they are mediators, they are the facilitators rather than the mediators in the supply chain. Okay, so these are the few things to check the inflation. So if the supply chain is properly maintained, there is no disruption to the supply chain, there will be always the constant prices in the market, that is inflation will be contained. Inflation can be checked, so inflation can be checked by this way, inflation can be checked, and food prices will remain stable and stability. And this was all about how to check the inflation. So we came to know about various things, that is combined efforts can be taken by the RBI and government to check the inflation. So second, fiscal policies by the government can also counteract the inflationary cycles in our economy. The administrative measures and the monetary measures can also help to check the inflation. Now this ends our chapter on inflation, but there are few terms that are left, or that are associated with this chapter of inflation. Let us complete those terms today, because it become very important when we talk about the inflation. First, let's make it will help us in remembering the things. Like we will make a table. In one column we will write liquidity, in second column we will write liquid, and in third column we will write purchasing power. So this is column 1, C1, this is C2, and this is C3. Column first is liquidity. Liquidity means money supply in market. Liquidity means money supply in market. How much money is present and available in market, how much cash is present in market. Liquid means assets. What are the assets in market? Okay, like gold and all, these are the assets. And purchasing power means ability of rupee to buy products. Okay, goods and services, we can say goods or services. So this is purchasing power. This is the column. Now in row first in rows, we will write about inflation. Okay, inflation. In first row we will write about inflation. In second row we will study about deflation. What is inflation? We had already studied about this thing. What is deflation? We will come to know about this thing now. Third, we will study about disinflation, because these terms were left in last chapter. Now we will take them properly. Fourth, we will study about reflation. Fifth, we will study about stagflation. Stagflation, okay. And there is term that is called headed head-on inflation, or headed inflation, head-on inflation. And there is also term called the core inflation, okay. These are the few terms that we will take. Now see the diagram how we will do this thing. So we know that inflation means when the prices of goods and services in economy increases, rises continuous, that is called inflation. And we already know that whenever there is inflation, money supply goes up. So we will write the arrow up, means money go, liquidity is, there is so much liquidity in the market. Inflation, liquid assets, they remain the same, okay, there is no impact on this, we will keep them like this, there is no change in this. But whenever there is inflation, we, our money, or the money that we are having, it buys the less product, means the purchasing power of our money reduces, purchasing power of the money reduced. So now there is another that is called deflation. Deflation means opposite of inflation, means now the money will go, means there will be less money supply in market, so money supply will go down. In deflation, money supply will go down, assets will remain as such. And here now in deflation, it is negative of the, it is the opposite of inflation. In inflation, our purchasing power ability was going down, now our purchasing power will increase. So this was about the deflation. Deflation, remember always, in deflation there is unemployment. Deflation is always associated with unemployment and economic recession as well. Then there is disinflation. Disinflation means when there is inflation but the rate of inflation is less as compared to the previous rate, okay, that is called disinflation. So in disinflation, there is liquidity, there is money supply, but less as compared to previous inflation, okay, or previous year inflation, or previous month inflation, that is called disinflation. So asset will be up and ability will also be high, because there is inflation but not as much as there was in the previous quarter or in previous month or previous year, okay. Then reflation, sometimes what happen, the economy is it goes under recession, there is slow growth, economy does not come back. At that time, government introduce some measures to induce the money supply in the market, that is called reflation. In reflation, money supply will go up. Why? Government induces inflation here. So reflation means induction of inflation by the government in order to boost the economic activity, or to revive the economic growth of the country, that is called reflation. In reflation, liquidity means money supply goes up, liquid assets they remain same, okay. So this is no, here if you see in reflation, it can go down, meaning the assets can come down. Why? Because the government will, they will in order to bring more money into the market, they can do certain things, they can, monetary policy, the monetary policy takes into consideration the assets will be liquidated. So the liquidation of assets will result in reflation, and the purchasing power will also come down here, okay. Then there is stagflation. Remember, stagflation. Stagflation means slow economic growth. Stagflation is equal to slow growth plus there is unemployment. एक तो इकोनॉमी बहुत स्लो है, बहुत कम है इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, जीडीपी बहुत कम है कंट्री का, दूसरा अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है, और तीसरा जो मेन फैक्टर इसके साथ है, हाई इन्फ्लेशन है। इन्फ्लेशन भी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, हाई इन्फ्लेशन। सो स्टेगफ्लेशन में क्या होता है? स्टेगफ्लेशन वो साइकिल है, बिजनेस साइकिल, या वो पार्ट है बिजनेस साइकिल का, जिसमें व्हेन एवर देयर इज स्लो ग्रोथ, देयर इज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड देयर इज हाई इन्फ्लेशन, दैट इज कॉल्ड स्टेगफ्लेशन। सो स्टेगफ्लेशन, हाई इन्फ्लेशन मीन्स liquidity will be high, okay, So what about the liquid assets? There is slow growth, they will remain the same. And what about the purchasing power? It will come down. Okay. Then there is also two more terms, that is head-on inflation and core inflation. In head-on inflation, there is in head-on inflation the prices of goods and services keep on increasing. Okay, they keep on increasing in head-on inflation, remember this thing. And in core inflation, there is inflation in the fixed or the inflation in the primary the sectors in which, or we can say non-volatile सेक्टर, उन सेक्टर में इन्फ्लेशन आती है जिनमें जिनमें प्राइसेस टू सम एक्सटेंट फिक्स्ड रहते हैं, उनमें अगर इन्फ्लेशन आएगी। में हेड ऑन इन्फ्लेशन में प्राइस ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विस इंक्रीजेस। कोर इन्फ्लेशन में हम कहते हैं जब इन्फ्लेशन किन में, उन एरियाज में आई जो जिनमें प्राइस चेंज का इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ता था, नॉन वोलाटाइल प्रोडक्ट्स और नॉन वोलाटाइल कमोडिटीज़ में अगर इन्फ्लेशन आई, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड द core inflation. But in core inflation, food and energy are excluded. So remember this thing: food plus energy, these are excluded from core inflation, so these are not taken into consideration. Food, energy, these two sectors are excluded in the core inflation. And this core inflation, if we see, it is a long-term policy framework. What is it? Long-term policy framework. It takes it takes a lot of time for the core inflation to occur. So it is a long-term policy framework to check the inflation. So these were the various concepts associated with the inflation. This completes our chapter on inflation. Now we saw each and everything about the inflation. We saw what is inflation, what are types of inflation, what are the various measures of inflation, what are the effect of inflation. We also studied about the how to check inflation, and we also studied about the various other concepts that are associated with the inflation. So, and now finally there was an MCQ on the inflation, is that whenever there is economic growth, it is accompanied by, economic growth is accompanied by, first deflation, second disinflation, third inflation, or four stagflation. So this question was asked from this topic, inflation, that whenever there is economic growth, it is accompanied by deflation, in disinflation, inflation, stagflation. So whenever there is economic growth, there will be more consumption. More consumption means there is more money with the people. More money means there will be inflation. So economic growth is always accompanied by inflation. So this was the end of the chapter inflation, and in the coming lecture 5 of this series we will study about the money and banking. And I have a request to my viewers that please, if you feel, if you like this series, if you think that I should make more and more videos on this section of UPSC and other sections as well, please feel free to comment and suggest that what should I teach and how should I teach. If you feel that I am not doing well, but if you feel that I am doing well, please do subscribe my channel, share it, and like the video, and do comment. Thank you so much. This was all for today's lecture. So in coming lecture there will be lecture 5 on money and banking in economics.